Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to take a closer look at natural solutions for joint pain. And in this video I want to break joint pain into three main sections. The first section has to do with what happens to almost every American over 65 in this country. They get arthritis. And along with this type of arthritis, there's another class that will be in this section according to conventional medicine, and that would be rheumatoid arthritis. Now, these two types of arthritis have different causes, but remember, our so-called experts don't know the cause to anything, so they don't realize they really shouldn't be put in the same category. But I'm going to put them in this category because our so-called experts do. Now, the first type of arthritis that's very common, that almost everybody gets over 65, although we can get it earlier, has to do with eating the wrong food, of course, and especially animal products, because animal products are high in uric acid, and we're not designed to eat animal products. That's why we don't have very much uricase, and that's why the average person is going to have arthritis in this country, because the uric acid has an affinity for our joints, but so does inorganic calcium. When we cook our food, this too has an affinity for our joints. And remember, when we look at the word organic, there's more than one definition, so don't jump on me and say, oh, you're not talking about it. Cooking doesn't make it not organic. There's two different types of organic we're talking about here. But the point here is it living? It's not living. It's not. But to get rid of this type of arthritis, it's very simple. We go on a solid food vacation. Go down below in the description box below, and you can see a seminar that I gave on how to do a solid food vacation. And when you do that, that will clean out the garbage in your colon, it will clean out the garbage in your lymph system, and that will in turn clean out the garbage in your joints. Now, as far as rheumatoid arthritis, that's a whole different type of disease because it's an autoimmune disease, and most diseases are when the lymph system backs up into the body, and the autoimmune diseases are the classic example of illustrating how we're being attacked by our body. We don't know why we're being attacked. Why do? We're eating the wrong food. Kidneys damaged, the lymph system's filthy, it goes above a toleration point. When that happens, it's got to go somewhere. That's why we have all these autoimmune diseases. Solution: solid food vacation. Quit making the mistakes. So that's what you do with the arthritis too, the other arthritis. You always got to stop making the mistakes that caused the problem. Stop eating food that has so much uric acid in it. We only produce like 14 grains of uric acid a day. The average piece of meat has, what, like 28 grains? So you're doing that 3 times a day, look how much extra uric acid you got. So you got to clean out that garbage, and then you got to correct 5 main mistakes. And the second one is the animal products that's causing the uric acid to go. And then the cooking the food, that's number 1, that causes the inorganic calcium. And then for the autoimmune diseases, it's the same for all of our diseases. You got to stop polluting the body and damaging the kidneys, and then the lymph system having it back up. Now, I'll explain how that works in another video I did called The Healing Secrets Revealed. Go down below in the description box and you'll see that video, along with medicine is the ultimate tool of control, meaning that they've been manipulated and controlled and they don't know the cause. Now, that's one form of joint pain that we have, and there's a natural solution for it. Stop violating laws of nature. Stop eating things you're not designed to eat, and you won't have poisons accumulating in your body. Very simple. The second group of joint pain I'm going to look at real quick is when we have back pain. And this is where they have a name for that one too. They call it a slip disc, right? So if you have a slip disc, it's a different type of problem. In this case, you have a deficiency problem. You're dehydrated. Please go get you a scale that will measure the amount of water that you have in your body. It's supposed to be around 70%. Most is around 50 or so. And that's going to contribute to this type of pain, because in between these discs, we've got these cushions that are like shock absorbers, and they're just dehydrated. They need to be filled up with water. That's all you have to do. The problem is you can't just drink regular water and rehydrate yourselves. The water's got to be structured. You got to eat the food that we're meant to eat, especially the only food that wants us to eat it, the fruit, the ones that we have a symbiotic relationship with. The water is structured in there, and it hydrates at a level that we can't get hydrated on with just regular old water. It's got to be structured water that the plant's structured by going through all its systems. So, simple solution for slip disc: go on a solid food vacation. That way you're bombarding your body with structured water, and then you're cleaning out your body, because a lot of times joint pain can come when our colon's plugged up and it's pushing things out to the side. So once again, what's the solution? solid food vacation, and that's the first step. The second step, a raw vegan diet. That's where we correct all 5 mistakes. Don't cook our food, we don't eat animals, we don't eat grains, we don't process our foods, unless we're going to do a juice fast, and that's a good application, and then no chemicals. And then the third category I have has to do when we get injured, especially. We have a tight muscle somehow. It's usually by way of an injury. A car accident can do the same thing. When we have a car accident or when we injure our muscles, sports injuries, for example, what we end up having is an area of poor circulation. And then toxins are going to settle in that area. Now, what we have to do is, of course, have a clean body. So go on a solid food vacation, eat a raw vegan diet, and that's going to minimize this problem. But this is where the art comes into play. Sometimes we have to do something a little bit extra. Do we go to a chiropractor? Well, sometimes that will help, right? We've seen how that will work. And what we need to understand is that most of this type of joint pain is coming from tight muscles. That's pulling the body out of alignment. The muscle gets tight because it gets injured somehow. Car accident, you fell down the stairs, bike accident, sporting accident, you could have just pulled a muscle, whatever. Now you got an area of poor circulation that pulls the joint out of alignment. So we can go to a chiropractor, they can put us back in alignment and go, hey, boy, that feels great, doesn't it? But what happens, they didn't fix the tight muscle, and what happens? The body gets pulled out of alignment again, and shame on you guys if you know this is happening and you're not telling these people, because these people are suffering, they're in pain. This is what drives me bananas and why I start screaming. Have you guys never been in pain? You must not be in pain now if you don't understand why I'm upset. People are in pain now, understand why I'm yelling, because people are in pain. Most of us need to count our blessings. I haven't been sick in a long time, but I remember the last time I had a headache, boy, I felt like $1 billion when it was gone. That's why I feel so much for people who are in pain. And it's needless. So even something as simple as going to a chiropractor and them not helping you understand how to solve this problem once and for all, and you got to keep going back because you keep going into pain. You keep getting into pain. So what do? Well, you need to go to someone like Kenny Owens, a real good friend of mine here in Houston, who developed this technique many years ago. He got injured as a table tennis player. He was a really good player. In fact, his son is one of the best in the country, or at least he was when he was growing up. He started winning boys 18 division when he was like 14. You got to see this little kid. First time I saw him, I didn't even know who he was. He was like 9 years old. He wasn't as high as the table. He was smacking that ball all over the place. But anyway, Kenny got injured. He figured out how to heal himself. He figured out the muscle was tight, was pulling the body out of alignment. Now, Kenny's a smart man. He's an engineer. And there's like 600 muscles in the body. He knows where every one of them are. He's trained virtually everybody who does this here in Houston. He's worked on all the top athletes, and when they do, they go out and are like brand new athletes. Warren Moon, he worked on Warren Moon, an NFL quarterback for the Oilers here, and set an NFL record for passing over 500 yards is because Kenny worked on his shoulder. Now, what we can do if we don't have someone like Kenny Owens is we can do what I got here, throwing back and forth here. This is a tennis ball, and we can use this tennis ball in much of the same way Kenny would find that tight muscle. He'd dig his elbow in it and he'd put all his weight in it, and what he would do is he'd find where there was a tight muscle, and he'd say, okay, I'm going to push on it. You tell me how much it hurts on a scale of 1 to 10. Actually, when it gets to 7, let me know. When you get to 10, I'll stop. And you want to take as much as you can so you can break up that tight muscle. It's like an old dried up sponge is the way Kenny told me about it. And what happens is by pressing on it really hard and you let it up, it's like pressing on a sponge. It has a rebound effect and it pulls in some blood and some lymph fluid so it can heal. So what we can do with this tennis ball is put it on the floor, up against the wall, up against a chair, and let's just say this is my back. I'd put this on. This would be the floor, this is by my back. You just press on it, and the thing about the tennis ball is it will compress so that it goes around the area that's tight. It's real hard. I've had friends try to do this on me a long time ago. They didn't know what they're doing, and their elbow would keep slipping off of where that knot was at. Well, the tennis ball will surround the knot and will allow you to apply pressure on it. You can find that. You can roll around on it and just use your own body weight. Of course, you can have someone else come along and dig it, but I found this is better than having someone else do it. Just get you a little tennis ball. This will help solve a lot of our pain if it's in our back, for example, or in our shoulders. I had this problem a couple years ago where I injured my shoulder, and this did the trick in no time at all. I found the tight muscle. It wasn't hard to find. You can go back and feel on your muscle, and you can feel where there's tightness, and you can even push on and you kind of feel it breaking up. Well, you can use the tennis ball, like I said, and press on it, and that will help break up that isolated mass of toxins. So this is the art, and the science is a solid food vacation. If you've never heard of it before, listen to the Dr. Roby interview. That's going to get you excited. Then watch the Deborah Duncan show, and that's going to get you excited. And then you can go to my seminar, go down there, take some notes. Don't come back here and ask me things that I've already told you once. Take some notes, damn it. You're in my classroom. I'm going to test you. And pay attention to the comment sections on this video. It's exciting. Look what people are going through. Now, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to share this with everyone you know, especially if they're in pain. It doesn't matter if it's arthritis or joint pain. It doesn't matter. Pain is pain. It's a warning that we're dirty. We need to do it. And by all means, if you like my message, if you want to help support me, subscribe to me. Help me get more subscribers for the sole purpose to help get rid of the suffering. That's all I'm trying to do. I've got some good knowledge. I know it works. I've coached lots of people. And I always tell everybody the same thing because I know what this can do for you. You're in for a treat.